So today we're talking about something a little personal, but it's very relevant if you're an indie author. I'm retaking a course called Your Path Forward, which I took last year, and I'm going to tell you why and why everything went wrong last year and why I'm retaking it this year and what it actually is for 2026 planning. So if you're looking to plan your 2026 and beyond, then sit down, grab a cuppa, and let's just talk about life, writing, and, you know, trying not to let things trip us up again like they did last year. If you haven't heard of Your Path Forward, it was a course created by Sarah Cannon at Heart Breathings, and it's a long-term planning course that maps out your order of operations rather than like rigid calendar dates. She calls it a game board strategy, and it can map out like your next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It basically maps out what you want in your author career and sort of what steps you have to do in order to get there. Again, it is not about setting rigid, hard dates on a calendar. It's about what are the steps and what order are the steps in. So I took Your Path Forward. I did the course last year for 2025, and I was really excited. I wasn't quite sure how much it would help me because I am notorious for not knowing what my next steps are, but it was the way that we did the course. It was really helpful. I learned a lot about what I wanted to happen and the sort of things I would need to do to get there. That was actually really important. So the whole point of the course is to have flexibility. And whilst I did do the course and I was very excited by it, I still was very rigid with myself, and in my head and on my board I was like, right, I'm doing this by this by this, and by the end of this year I'm going to have XYZ done, by the end of that year I'm going to have XYZ done, and by the end of the other year I'm going to have this done. And then 2025 hits, and if you've been following me for a while, you know that for most of 2025, the first half of 2025, I was hit with some mental and physical difficulties, and I had no motivation, I had no energy, and everything just went kaput. I think a part of the reason mentally why I didn't get back into things straight away was because I knew I was already behind on my planning, and so therefore my brain just went, well, if you're behind now, you may as well just not start. That's just how my brain works. I'm pretty sure it's a default somewhere, but anyway, that's not the point. And basically, that's not what the course was about. The course was not about that. I was very excited and very energized into getting loads of done and being really productive, but I just went too far, which is what I always do without fail. Even when I first started doing my quarterly planning, I was just like, yeah, I can do that in a quarter, and I really can't. I was not realistic. It's just one of my weaknesses. Is just what I do. So we're going to start 2026 with a fresh plan. Well, sort of. I'm going to get out my game boards from 2025 and sort of have a look at them, and instead of focusing on what I'm going to do for a certain year, I am literally going to do what I should have done the first time and focus on that order of operations. So I'm going to be focusing on the steps and not when those steps need to be taken, but the order of those steps. And perfect timing, guys, there is a new live round that's going ahead on December 12th to the 13th. So this is the perfect time to sort of be mapping out my vision for next year and beyond. And honestly, I just feel something in my heart right now, in my gut, that I am just ready. I spent most of 2025 in a big funk, and I'm just ready to start again for 2026. One thing that really struck me is that I need to be pulling in more of an income for my family, and my issue is that how do I want to be bringing that money in? And it's with my writing. So we are going to be knuckling down on the business side of things, guys, and I can't wait to take you along. Let's go through what this course is and what the steps are and what the days are, because I'm so excited about this. I am going to be retaking it live and also doing some lives myself, so let's go through what that will look like. So this isn't just like a normal class or a normal live thing. It's almost like this hybrid event, she calls it. There's live classes, there are self-paced videos, there is co-working hours, there's Discord groups open across the 2 days. So it's kind of like a mix of a lot of different mediums depending on how you work. So it's not all fully live, so if you can't make certain live events, it's not the end of the world, but it's not all just self-paced videos that you just watch in your own time. You've also got the lives to go across with it, and then there's like co-working hours, which is a real new thing to me, and I'm really excited because last year I don't think I could take part in many of the co-working hours because of the timings, and I think the timings are a little bit different this year because she's based in America and I'm a UK girly. It's going to be a really cool 2 days. So day 1 is Friday the 12th of December, and they start, well, there's lots of different time zones in America, isn't there, Rianne? So 2 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. for us British folk, there is the first live stream happening. And she focuses on this domino effect. So this session focuses on how every decision sort of connects to the next decision and so on, and how it can affect your overall author career, and how like every little project that you do, sort of how that connects to your author plan as a whole. So again, we're sort of zooming out for this big picture look. And she calls it like, it's almost like a mindset reset and sort of clarity session. I do love the live work, the sort of live sessions that she does, because I do tend to feel quite inspired by the end of it and feel very motivated, and I want that to continue. So after that live stream, the self-paced videos unlock. If you're already an alumni, then they should already be unlocked for you. I'm not sure if she's relocking them and then reopening them, if that makes sense, but the videos will unlock for you to sort of follow through. So I'll be doing those again to make sure I'm doing it right. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is midnight for us in the UK, there is the sort of co-working live stream. Now, I will be, after the sort of the live stream, the first one where it's alive, I will be going through the videos and doing my sort of work then. I may even go live on YouTube myself, so if I do, I will sort of post when that will be, because at midnight I will be in bed like the Cinderella I am, asleep, hopefully. Maybe reading, who knows, it's insomnia, but I will not be staying up to work at midnight, I can tell you that for now. I've got 2 young children, that's just not happening. But the co-working sessions are quite good, the live ones, because it's a way for you to sort of like work with other people at the same time. So it's almost like, you know, when you have that body doubling thing, and you can ask questions and sort of work, you know, like workshops and things as well. So I really like the idea of the live co-working sessions, but I just can't do that day. But the timing's a little bit better on the Saturday. So on the Saturday, they are starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. for us guys. I will get dinner ready for my kids, and then I'll be holding up in my office at 4 p.m. So there is another live stream. I think they normally last for about an hour. And this one talks about like that game board strategy. So using what you've learned from the first day with the first videos and sort of that connection, we then putting it together in this one. And this is where like the actual roadmap happens, and it does all come together really nicely. At first I was like, I don't understand how this is all like coming together to make a plan and a roadmap, but it does, so bear with. You will get to build your own personal game board, because everybody's author journey, everybody's author expectations and aspirations, they're all very different. So again, after the live stream, more self-paced videos will unlock and we can go through them at our own pace. And then there's the live co-working sessions again, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern or 7 to 9 p.m. for us UK people, which is much more doable, which I will be then joining in with the live co-working and sort of working on my game board at the same time, because I'm notorious for thinking, yeah, I'll do that later, and then I never do, spoiler. So I will be joining in with the live co-working sessions on that, even if I'm like behind or whatever happened the day before, because you know, kids, life stuff. I will be using that live co-working session on the Saturday because it's 7 till 9 p.m. and I'm awake for that normally. So at 10 p.m. for us in the UK or 5 p.m. for the over the pond people, Eastern time, whatever that one is, there is the closing call, the live closing call, which again I'll be able to take part in. 10 to 11 is absolutely fine, and I think it's a really good way to sort of round things off, and we go through sort of like the mindset for carrying on after this weekend, and you know, what to do next, how to stay motivated, how to follow through, and what connects it all together. So that is just a really nice way to round off the 2 days, even if you're not fully up to date with everything. So I'll be joining in with that live as well. And then it doesn't end there, so there is an ongoing support plan. After the 2 days, there is a Facebook Collect support group and a Discord server as well. I've only just recently found myself on Discord, so this will be new. But Sarah will be there for an additional month to offer like support and help and advice as we go through it. So not everyone can make the full 2 days, and it just gives you that time to really settle in and hone your plan to start 2026 off with a purposeful plan. That's such a good way of saying it, Brianne. Well done, thank you very much. I think this kind of planning is actually instrumental because we are writing, planning, editing, marketing. We are like all the hats. Now I appreciate that traditional authors also have to do a lot of that as well, but there's an element of entrepreneurship with indie authors, and there's just a lot to sort of remember, round up, and it's something that I have enjoyed up till now. As weak as my efforts have been, I do actually enjoy that because I have a need to control things. So the flexible map that you have worked out what steps need to be done in which order is just a sense of clarity and understanding. So not only do you work out where you want to be in that future, you work out what steps you need to do next, because one thing that we can do is flounder a little bit. Like you do one thing, like, right, what's the next thing I need to do, and you may not always focus on that big picture. You might just be focusing and honing in on a tiny little part of it. And so this kind of planning really pulls you out, draws you out to look at the big picture. And I'm a very visual person, so I'll be utilizing, I have a wall space over on this side, and I'm excited to be utilizing this for long-term and short-term planning. So if you're interested in seeing how that looks, stick around, subscribe, and I will show you as we move on through the rest of this year and into next. And another thing, I mentioned earlier that I have been doing HB90 for a little while, and this pairs perfectly with HB90. But Your Path Forward is like your long-term planning, your vision, the steps that you need to do, and then HB90 is your short-term planning and a bit more of your harder deadlines that you sort of want to follow. So it's like, you know, one on their own is great, both together, chef's kiss. So the way it has been described is like, it's like having the compass and having the step-by-step trail guide. Again, put both together, match made in heaven. So my hopes for 2026. I am going to be focusing on intentional progress. That sounds weird, but bear with me. So I'm not trying to focus on hustle culture and trying to do everything all at once and trying to do things as quick as possible. Yes, there are sort of like deadlines I have in my head because I need to be making profit by a certain time, and I messed up last year, so the momentum I was gaining, I've sort of gone back a bit. I'm still doing really well. Like, I'm really proud of what I have achieved. But my daughter started school in September. I've got 2 kids now in school. I've hit a point in my life now where my children are getting older. I feel like I can actually start to make some real progress. And I know if you've been following me, I may have said that before, blah, blah, blah. But think about it. My 2 children now 4 and 6. I am no longer doing nappies, staying up all night. My son's been sleeping in his bed, his own bed, since the end of August. Can we get a woohoo for that, please? Hallelujah. So we are making progress as like a family and stuff. So I'm just feeling enthused about this year and beyond. This is the year, and intentional progress is the phrase I'm going for. So I'm not necessarily setting myself these hard deadlines that are, you know, unachievable, but I am going to be making those steps intentionally. Like, there's just, in my head, I feel like there's a difference in the two: intentional progress and like trying to follow through really quickly. Intentional progress is trying to follow my long-term plan step by step and putting it over into my quarterly planning so that I know what I'm doing when. I'm hoping that makes sense. It does in my head, but I know you're not all there with me. So I'm going to be taking what I learnt last year and pulling it into this year with me, so we're not just completely forgetting that 2025 happened. We are learning from it. So one thing I did learn is that whilst deadlines are not good for my mental health, I do actually work with deadlines. So I'm going to be utilizing what I'm going to be calling soft deadlines. Okay, so what that means is I'm going to be setting myself like targets of when I would like to finish things, but realistic targets. Okay guys, we're going to be realistic about this. For instance, book 4, I am planning this month. I'm spending this whole month planning it because I'm sort of tying up a series. So I need that time. I'm going to be mapping it out on my board, everything. And then I'm giving myself 3 months to draft it. That is January, February and March. In February, it's a short month and we have half term. And at the end of March is my daughter's birthday. But I think 3 months to draft it when I have worked really hard in December to sort of map it out is doable. It is very doable. Then I'm giving myself January, March, April to do my own edits, a whole month to do my own edits. This is so that I can really dive into it, and instead of rushing it and feeling like I'm like doing a half-assed attempt or like just not putting my soul into it, I'm giving myself that month to go back through and really dive into the edits myself. Then in the month of January, February, March, April, May, I'm giving a whole month to my betas. Well, I may say like 3 weeks, so I've got like a week buffer. But for those betas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to message some of the authors that help me out, and we do critique work for each other. So I'm going to message them and say, this is what I'm aiming for May. And then I'm also going to message someone like a paid beta reader that I have on hand to see how flexible we can be and say, I'd love to book in for this month, but do you have flexibility to sort of like move around, obviously depending on what other projects they've got going on. But just knowing I've made those connections to plan out is really good. But at the same time, I'm not locking myself in, right, I have to have this by this date. And the same thing for editing. I'm going to speak to some editors and say, this is when I'd roughly like to get it to you, and sort of work with those soft deadlines. I don't want to be working with anybody who's like, it has to be in by this date or it's not happening. And that is absolutely fine if that's how people work, but that's just not how I'm going to be working in 2026. I hope I've made some sort of sense then. In my head, I'm thinking Q1 is my drafting month, Q2 is like all the editing, and then Q3 is the getting the final edits back, formatting and publishing. So Q3 is it August, September and October? Or is it July, August, September? I know how the months work in the year. So in that 3 months, I will hopefully be publishing. And if my timing's worked out, I can publish by August, with giving myself like months at a time for something. But then I might say, oh, it might end up being September or the beginning of October, and that's not bad at all. So I'm trying to give myself those soft deadlines, because when I had to work for book 3, and when I worked out when I would need to have it done to be able to have book 3 at the Christmas market that I've just done, and I worked backwards, I needed to have like finished the draft in like a couple of weeks away from where I was at the time, and that was just stressful. But we did it, and I think I only did it because I have a couple of really, really good author friends who swap and were able to get me in and sort of like, oh no, I'll work on it, and they were fantastic. And then my editor Renee, she's an absolute godsend, and I was able to work with her, and she's been a friend for a long time. So because I had friends in my corner, we were able to do it, and it was like this big collaborative effort, and I'm so grateful for the people that helped me get this book out on time. But my gosh, was that stressful. So we're not doing that to ourselves again. We're going to give ourselves a little bit more time, okay? So if you've ever had one of those years that just gets completely derailed or you're like craving clarity like I am, or I was, for your own creative path, let me know in the comments below, because I love hearing where you're at. I love hearing what your aspirations are. It's really good to discuss in the comments and like sort of create that accountability, like putting it down on video or on paper in words. So yeah, accountability buddies, let's assemble, okay? Because I need the accountability. Don't know about you guys. So before I wrap up, I want to sort of go through the pricing, because clarity is really important. Making like financial decisions for your author career are big life decisions. So there are 3 payment plans with this course. The first one is an upfront payment plan of $149, but you can do a 3-month payment plan of $50 a month, or a 6-month payment plan of $25 a month. And if you want to take it with HB90, so the 2 courses together, you can get $49 off. So if you've been thinking of diving into HB90, now could be the right time. Or if you've done one course and you want to go over onto the other course, then this would also be a good time, because it's $49 off. So I will leave those links down below if you want to join the course and come join us. I will also leave down below when I am doing a live stream, or when I might be doing a live stream. I've never done a live stream before, but I might do one this time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see, okay? Just subscribe and keep yourself tuned to this channel, and there may be, if you're in the UK, I may do some live sort of co-working ourselves, because we may not be able to get to the midnight one. So if you are interested in that and you're in the UK and you want to have a couple of hours of planning and doing some long-term planning, then let me know in the comments and I will set up a live. I've never done a live before. So that is the full breakdown of why I'm taking the course again, what it is, and how it's going to set me up for next year, and why I'm just feeling so like motivated and enthusiastic about now and beyond. I don't know why, I just feel like there's this bug inside of me, a good bug, not a bad bug, you know. I just feel ready, and I feel like that phrase, intentional progress, might actually be my phrase for the year. I don't know. Do you think that could be my phrase for the year? Let me know again down in the comments below if you think I should use that phrase as my 2026 phrase, intentional progress. Anyway, so if you are considering this course or a course like it, I hope this video has helped you. And if you're not ready to take it, or you're not sure about it, I just hope this video has helped you with some ideas and gaining that motivation to do some long-term planning and to really set ourselves up for 2026. Make sure you subscribe and stick around if you want to see what I'm doing for 2026 and how those soft deadlines and soft like targets I'm giving myself are going to work, how I'm mapping that out, how I'm using my long-term planning to map out 2026, and then again how that's going to map into doing my quarterly planning that I do. So I'm going to be sharing all of that, so make sure you subscribe and stick around. I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.